Welcome to the Gallicchio Tomcast. Today I'm super excited for our very special guest. He is a professional MMA fighter, he's a professional kickboxer, and a professional boxer. And he is also one of the striking coaches at Team Quest, the one, the only, Isaias Alvarado.
Thank you for having me, Tom.
It's great to have you.
All right.
And me and Isaiah go back. You know, I've had Sam on, I had Fernando on. He goes back just as far. We
go back a long ways, man.
We've been the good old boys for a while.
GOB.
The GOB, the good old boys.
Yeah.
Now, before I start, we've had some tragic news in the news recently, and that's America's team lost the World Series.
America's team, the New York Mets. How can you drop the ball, man? Jeez.
I was so hyped. Because they shut out. Who'd they shut out? The Cubs?
I believe so.
Yeah, I believe
so.
Shut
National
out.
League, yeah.
I was like, America's team, we're going. This is it. This is the Mets' year.
Yeah. Cespedes, he got hurt in one of the games I was looking. I think it was the third or fourth game. He took like a fastball, fouled it right off of his knee, then pops up the next at bat. It was bases loaded. I'm like, this is the beginning of the end, man. Yeah, but Kansas City's always been a super strong team. Just the last few years, they haven't been able to just, close it to where, at the end of the season. But this year, man, I mean, strong pitching. They have a strong bullpen. They had good defense, good offense. I mean, they're a solid team, and they're a young team, so they're going to be around a while.
So they're going to be the Mets are a pretty young team too.
Yeah. I don't know the exact age on a lot of the guys on the Mets. I'm a Tigers fan, so
you're a Tigers
fan through and through. But, the Mets is solid. And, I mean, who really saw Kansas City coming this year? That's just like saying the Lions are going to win the Super Bowl. No offense to the Detroit Lions. I'm from there. But, hey, step your game up.
The Lions are making the Super Bowl this year.
Man, I don't know, man. We might turn it around.
You might turn it around. Aren't you a Chicago fan, Chicago Bears fan?
You know what? Anybody that's from Detroit, if you're a Lions fan, more power to you. But the bulk of anyone who's from the city of Detroit would always say they're either a Chicago Bears fan or they're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
Well, that's because it's hard enough growing up in Detroit.
Dude.
And it'll be even harder to grow up in Detroit and then be a Lions fan.
You know
That's
what?
the double struggle.
It's the double strike. I mean, you have a lot of people, they cheer for the Red Wings, of course. Like, I mean, they've been kicking ass in hockey forever. And then most of the fans that actually cheer for the Red Wings and cheer for the Tigers, they're from Canada because they come over on the bridge or the tunnel. Windsor, Ontario's 5 minutes. The only thing that separates downtown Detroit and Windsor, Ontario is the Detroit River, and it's not that big of a river. So on game day with the Tigers and game day with the Red Wings, I mean, that bridge is packed, the tunnel's on shutdown, they come through, they're cheering, and then they go the hell home.
Do they swim across the border?
Sometimes. I mean, if you can't afford that gas money, I mean, gas is expensive, so you just, get your exercise in, go have a game,
It's funny. It's hard for Americans to get over to Canada. So, Canada doesn't have a lot of Mexican people because that's two borders they have to go. They have to get the bottom one and the top one.
Yeah.
It's very hard to get into Canada.
You know what? It's hard to get into Canada. It depends on where you are, though. Like, if you're crossing over on the Detroit side and you're going into Windsor, Ontario, it's not that bad. It's not bad at all. But if you're flying through, like, here we're in California. So whenever we take a flight and we have to go into Canada, the minute that we land, they want to know what's our business there, what are we doing. On my passport, they swipe it. Say it one more time.
Do you have a misdemeanor
I've had some things in the past, nothing pending, but they know everything. Once they swipe your passport, they know all your info. They want to see if anything is how can I say it? Is kind of shaky, They want to see your body language. They want to see everything. But it's like, dude, I don't have anything. I'm fine. Don't worry about it. But they're very, very particular because, I mean, Canada's beautiful. I would never speak bad about Canada. Canada's awesome. It's been awesome to me. Ladies are beautiful over there. Food's good. So, I mean, but yeah, it can be hard sometimes. But going through Detroit, no.
No. You're lesser of the evils on Detroit. So
yeah, they figure
when you fly in, it makes it harder.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm sure if they figure that we're leaving Detroit, I think they have a little bit of sympathy for us. Like, all right, man, hey, you guys probably want to, get the hell out of there for the weekend or so.
Yeah, the Red Wings aren't playing. So
the Red Wings aren't playing. It's snow up there, so a lot of people from Detroit, they actually they go to Toronto a lot because it's only like I think like a 3 to 4 hour drive, depending on how fast you're going. Don't recommend high speeds. But depending on how fast you're going, you go to Toronto for the weekend. I mean, that's a good getaway. And then Buffalo, New York, Niagara Falls is right there.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's a good time, dude.
The New York's kind of has to struggle, too, to talk about football. Like, a lot of people in New York don't like to claim the Buffalo Bills.
Man, I don't know nobody. If you grew up in the 90s, yeah, Buffalo Bills, the Washington Redskins, they were bad then, but now
they're just the other type of band.
They're just the Buffalo Bills, Like who was it? It was Marshawn Lynch, running back for Seattle. He first went to Buffalo.
Okay.
And he's from California, and he said, I was watching that interview with him, he said when he first landed in Buffalo, he was like, oh man. Like, I'm a long way from home. So yeah, Buffalo, I mean, if you go to New York Jets, I mean, they get a lot of love. The New York Giants, they get so much love.
The Giants get a little more love than Jets, even though the Jets are America's team.
Now, you're from Jersey, so where exactly is that? Where is that?
The stadium's in New Jersey, where Jets and Giants play.
Okay.
So the only true team New York has is the Bills, although the Jets do their combine in Cortland, New York.
Okay, and Cortland's how far from the city?
It's hours.
Yeah.
Like it's easy. It's quicker for me in New Jersey to get to the city than if I was in Cortland. Cortland's like 2 hours from Lehigh.
Oh, and up north.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're getting close to Canada territory.
Oh, okay. Nice. So you're closer to Buffalo. So where does Buffalo Bills do their combine? Like they're
I don't know exactly.
See, exactly. Nobody cares about the Buffalo Bills. Nobody cares about the Buffalo Bills. Don't worry, Rex Ryan. We're coming. We're on your team, man. Don't worry about it.
What was it when Tebow was it seemed wherever what's his name was going, the old Jets quarterback Sanchez, wherever he was going, it always
Mark Sanchez.
Yeah, Tebow seems to be following him.
Yeah.
For a second.
But Tebow was doing like analyst work right now.
Is he?
I don't know. I'm asking.
He's the most successful
non-successful person. No, Jamarcus Russell was. Now, the reason why Jamarcus Russell was is because he signed a huge check. You know what I mean? So he sucked in Oakland. He wasn't doing his thing, but I mean, he collected that check, so you can't really hate on him for that. At the end of the day, he's taking less damage than all of these other guys, and he's paid way more. So.
And he's a millionaire.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, shout out to Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah,
you're doing it big, baby.
You don't see that too much in MMA.
Nah.
You got to do something to get anything in MMA. No, you got to do a lot of something to get a little. Although, I mean, like, some people get luckier than others.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of people get lucky in MMA. I mean, not so much in the sense as luck, when it comes to the fights, because fighting, I mean, you create your own luck. Yeah. If you're in the gym training and you're in the gym, doing everything possible, the luck is just in time. Yeah. The luck is your time is when the fight comes about. That's when you can show the luck, but no, MMA, I mean, if you a lot of people like to build their brands, they like to put themselves out there, and they like to talk smack or this or that. As long as you're putting butts in the seats, that's going to sell. People that want to come watch you fight, whether they want to pay to watch you lose or pay to watch you win, those are the guys that's making money.
That's Mayweather 101 right there.
I mean, hey, anybody who can hate on a person that can make $200 million in one night, you're an idiot. Like, you can have personal feelings towards him, but if you were in that situation, would you do the same thing?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Nobody can deny that. So it's like, okay, yeah, hate on the guy, say all kind of names and talk about like, oh, he can't read, he can't do this, he can't do that.
He can read punches. That's harder to read.
He can
letters.
read punches, and he doesn't get hit that often. You know, he's gonna have a long life ahead of him if he stays healthy. You know, and
he just retired, Mayweather, right?
Just retired.
Just retired. He's not
38 or 39 years old. Last few fights, making well into the millions, making more than 40 million a fight. And this, I mean, he's been staying active since 2013, back to back, twice a year. You get what I mean? Before, he was only fighting once a year, maybe. And, you know, he was signed to Bob Arum at Top Rank. So,
and then he kind of like, didn't he have an issue with them and then got rid of them?
Well, from what I made of it was that he was signed to Top Rank and he wanted to be, you know, the star, which he was, you know. But at the time, they were promoting Oscar De La Hoya, and they were, you know, really putting him out there, really putting the Golden Boy out there, and Mayweather was second tier. Yeah. So when he broke away from that and started his own company, he bought out of his contract with Top Rank. And his first fight outside of that contract was against De La Hoya to kind of, you know, show like, hey, I'm the superior. Golden Boy. You know, I'm the Golden Boy. I'm the number one. And he went out there. He did his job, broke pay-per-view numbers, and did his thing.
That was a fight that was really close too, if I'm not mistaken.
A very good fight. Very good fight. Oscar De La Hoya. I mean, people look at him later on in his career with Pacquiao and Mayweather, or you know, even the Felix Trinidad fight, and people look at that and they're like, oh, De La Hoya wasn't never really that good. De La Hoya was a bad motherfucker, man.
Yeah, he was.
He was bad, dude. But, yeah, I mean, chips fall as they may. That's all I can say. You think
a little bit of fame and that celebrityism got to him? Because that's a poison in itself.
Yeah, I mean,
life changes. Like even
you go from eating, you know, at a freaking, you know, McDonald's or some taco stand, and then you having personal chefs coming to your house. Yeah, that's a big difference, you know. You go like who was it? Like Manny Pacquiao, where he grew up. It's crazy that he built like a mansion in the same neighborhood that he grew up at, but now he has like a ton of security around, guys with guns walking around and stuff like that. But I mean, even for a kid like that, I mean, a few years back, you can remember where you had no shoes, you had no options and stuff, and now you have the options to do whatever the hell you want. That's yeah, it has to be mind blowing.
It really, really does. I mean, for Manny Pacquiao, so not even in the U.S. doing it. He's like in the Philippines.
You get what I mean? The U.S. dollars go longer in the Philippines. Ooh, Philippines. Man, I would like to take 1,000 to see what I can do over there with that.
I don't think they go very far in Russia anymore.
Nah.
I went to Moscow. That place was rich.
I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know? Never been to Russia?
I've been to Russia. I've been to St. Petersburg. And it was pretty cold, but I mean, just shout out to Russia. Love you guys. But I don't know, just the vibe. Like I'm an energetic dude.
Oh yeah, they don't play that.
They don't play that over there. It's like
they don't even play smiles.
Yeah, they don't play smiles. I'm like talking to women and stuff. Like, hey, how's it going? Da da da. Okay, so I got to keep it moving, you know. And
I tried talking to girls over in Russia. I got a lot of. Yeah, I got that.
So it happens, man.
Or then I there was two girls and a guy, and I tried talking to them, and then they just made fun of me, like right to me.
See, that's not cool. A lot of people though from Russia, like a lot of the guys that I met like through fighting, and you know, guys that's been to the gym, they're cool. Once you start to get them to talk, I mean, human beings are human beings, so it's like, you know, we eat, sleep, and shit. You know, so our worries are the same. Everyone worries about their children. Everyone worries about their family, different things like that. Once you get a person to talk, I mean, anyone on this planet Earth, you know, once you get them to start opening up and start talking, it's fun in itself, you know.
And I think they're that way because they're always in a hurry. That's why they're Russian.
Okay. Bazing right for you right there. Yeah, huh? All right, they're Russian. All right, just like I can go to the bathroom. I'm European, you know. Yeah, I feel.
But, yep.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm full of shitty jokes.
One of those, yeah. Got it. A lot of cheese on that.
So Isaiah, I understand you like to sleep with the air conditioner cranked up.
Dude, I like to sleep. Yes.
Because I've traveled with you. You like to keep that air conditioner where it's just like, how low can this thing go? Let's see.
I mean, think about it though. Let's think about this. If it's hot outside, you can be butt naked and hot, right?
Still,
you can be butt naked. You can't peel off your skin, so you're gonna be butt naked and hot. But if it's cold, you can always layer up to your comfort level. So same thing like you're sleeping. If you're sleeping and you got some big blankets and you're bundled up, you're nice and warm, cool. You next to a thick chick, you know, nice and warm. You're staying warm the whole night. So
if there's not enough blankets, you got to just get a nice thick chick.
You got to get, I mean, I'm not saying that, you know, I want no super gorditas or nothing, but it's something that keeps you warm, you know.
I like a thick
chicks.
We don't need them sticks.
Nah, you know what? Shout out to all skinny chicks. Skinny chicks. You know, petite is bomb.
We love you too.
We love you too. But if it's wintertime, I'm back in Detroit. Oh man, I can't. The
bear in you comes out.
You know what I'm saying? The bear in me comes out. I want to make sure I'm good, you know? I want to make sure I'm warm. Nice little cave, you know? Big spoon, little spoon, all that stuff.
Would you say your thicker chicks are your favorite?
You know what? Yeah, but you got to see, like, a lot of guys out here, especially in California, I've noticed that throughout the U.S., the culture is a little bit different. Because if you say thick out here, right, a lot of guys will be like, oh, nah, she's fat. And it's like me, I walk around 200 pounds. So I warm up about 140, right? That's my warm up. So I can't sit there and say, oh yeah, this chick that weighs 98 pounds. Oh yeah, she's too fat. Like I've never understood the concept. Like you're seeing guys 6'6'7", right? Like massive like dudes. Trucks. And then you see in their chicks and they're like 4'11", and
they gotta hold hands like that.
They gotta hold hands like this. Like Shaq and Hoops. That, oh man, it looks like daddy daughter, you know? Yeah. Like I'm not, you know, no offense, Shaq, don't come looking for me or anything.
He ain't watching this.
You know, he ain't watching.
You don't have to worry.
You got better things to do, Shaq. Yeah. If you are watching this,
if he comes after you, I will just be impressed.
Yeah, I'll be impressed. I'll take the punishment, bro. Like, yeah, at least I got beat up by Shaquille. You know what I'm saying? But no, seriously, like, I've never understood that concept. Like, you know, and then you hear guys, you know, they talk, you know, like a big game. Like, yeah, I was tearing her up. Yeah, of course. You're like 4 times her size. Hey, what are you doing?
Like, it's not natural.
Yeah, so for me, it's not in the sense where it's like, oh yeah, well, she got to be all super thick and stuff like that. But it's like, man, hey, you know, if I'm throwing it, throw it back. You know, I just don't want something that feels like as if I'm about to catch a charge or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And I don't want it so big that my sweeps don't work on her.
Oh yeah, you gotta make sure that X guard sweep works. You know, the sweeps gotta work, but she also gotta be able to take it as well.
Yeah, you know? Absolutely.
Because smaller ones, they stop your hips. They like put the hands down
or their legs.
Yeah. What is that? What is that? But I get it. But see, that's the thing, and that's like where I kind of have to step in with my own self and say, hey, look. I'm 5'11", right? I walk around like 205, 210 pounds. So I have to take it upon myself to say, hey, if these petite, small chicks like you, right, and you take them, the taller chicks aren't going to take the midget guys. So you're doing a great community service by passing up on the petites, going with your own size and letting the small guys have one. You know, I mean, it's the circle of life.
Letting the alpha male crew get after him.
Shout out to Alpha Male. You guys are cool, man. Uriah.
They run Sacramento. And we were also getting a lot of love up in where were we just?
San Jose.
San Jose.
Man, towns like that is crazy because, like, we were up with Fernando. Fernando Gonzalez. He
was just on episode 4.
Yeah, he had a fight up in Sacramento, right? So we go into like Whole Foods. We go into like all of these little spots, and I mean, it's crazy how, like, I don't know what Alpha Male does or how they embrace the community.
Yeah.
But we walk into Whole Foods and like the women are just, you guys are fighters, right?
Yeah.
Where are you guys from? Do you guys know Uriah?
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, hey, wait a second. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, yeah, we're from Temecula, da da da. They're like, oh, where are you fighting? Where's this? The guys were very respectful.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, man.
They weren't looking to pick fights.
No, hell no. I mean, I don't know what Team Alpha Male does up there.
They're doing community service.
They're doing great community service.
I guarantee Uriah's getting out there.
They're doing great community service.
They really are.
Because those guys, I mean, but that also has to be a positive because at least like people weren't coming up to us like, oh, you guys are from Team Alpha Male, you know, screw you, get out of here. No, everybody was super cool with us, super nice. It was a great time. We were welcome. And to go out of town, you know, everybody always calls it hostile territory. When you go out of town and you're embraced and you're welcome, that just feels good.
They're just happy to have fighters out there.
They're happy to have fighters out there. So, yeah, definitely shout out to them. And then when we were in San Jose, me and you and Fernando again, we were out there. Yeah, we got a lot of love out there. The AKA guys, you know, and yeah, man. I mean, good times.
That's Northern Cali. Is that considered NorCal?
That's considered Northern Cali. I mean, because
it's like Central.
Yeah, it's still Central, kind of, because you're below the Bay. But anything, I guess, from Gilroy on up would be considered Northern Cali. I guess.
We're in Southern California, and there's no denying that. And the amount of love we get out here is like, yo, you guys are fighters?
We get zero love out here in SoCal.
You guys are fighters? You must train at the UFC gym. No, we're actually at...
Shout out to the UFC. Good branding.
UFC's... Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, good branding.
Like, no, we're at Dan Henderson's gym. They're like, he's out here? I'm like, yeah, only for the last 10 fucking years.
You know what's crazy is that Dan's right here, and Dan's been here for ages, yeah?
He doesn't go into his camps anywhere either.
You get what I mean? Like, Dan's always here. He's always at the gym. He's always there. He's been here. If people know that you fight out here, they're like, you must fight at the UFC gym. I'm like...
That's only been open for maybe 2 years.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm like, that's crazy that, like now it's not even MMA. Like, for the casual fan, like, even my mom, she's like, we need to stop that UFC stuff. And I'm like, Mom... that's not. It's mixed martial arts.
Mom, what did I tell
MMA,
you, Mom?
That's the sport. Mom, where's the meatloaf? You know, like,
Mom, it's MMA. Call.
It's MMA, but the brand has taken over a new identity in itself to where it's like people refer to the sport as UFC.
Yeah, I'm noticing more people call it MMA now.
You know, it's more knowledgeable fans though.
Yeah, now you're seeing a little more come out.
Yeah, but the casual fans, and the casual fans are people like before the UFC was what it is today. Those are the fans that can identify Chuck Liddell. Those are the fans that can identify the Tito Ortizes and people like that. So, I mean, for it to be where it is now and the superstars that it has now and, you know, traveling worldwide, throwing events in different places, smaller arenas, big arenas, it's pretty crazy. Yeah. But we get no love out here.
We get no love out here.
If we don't train at the UFC gym, they don't know what the hell Dan Henderson's place is.
If you're at a bar, though, it's Bo's gym.
Bo King, Syndicate Fight. Yeah. He's a local legend, right?
He's a local legend. I like Bo.
I like Bo.
I like Bo. He's a character.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He's nowhere near the Dan Henderson level. And same.
Dan has had way more success in his career, but Bo's been doing it in the same area. So I guess.
Yeah, Bo's been out here for a while.
Yeah, he's been out here for a while. So
gymming it up.
Within the Temecula area, within just the Southern Cali, because he had a place in Riverside for a long time.
Yeah.
And he was out there and he was doing his thing. And, he's always showed love for guys trying to come up from down here. And, he gets guys fights. And he gets fights.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Bo's a good guy. And, a lot of people would look like, oh, yeah, well, that's nobody, this, that, and the other. But it's in life. I mean, I guess my theory is that it's different stepping stones to get people to where they need to be. And not saying that Bo's a stepping stone, but he's a person that's in place to help someone else out. He's a person that's been there. Because he's fought a bunch of times, a handful of times.
I think he's got 30 fights somewhere.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? So he knows the ropes.
Yeah.
And he's able to mentor a young fighter that's coming up, guys that are fresh starting out or amateur guys. He's that guy that's here in Temecula, not in Los Angeles or not in
And yeah, he could put him on these shows like Bama and stuff and get him the right opponents. He's got a little bit of pull. And I'll tell you what, his young kids are kicking butt.
Yeah, they have a couple kids over there. I don't know the names off the top of my head, but it's a couple kids over there that are scary good, man.
Yeah. I mean, even little ones they have that are good.
Yeah.
They kick ass, man.
So, I mean, that's the thing. It's okay, if people look at this sport, the beautiful thing about this sport is that you can be whoever you want to be. Like Greg Jackson, you got guys like Matt Hume, right?
Matt Hume.
When you look at great fighters or people that are household names, Chuck Liddell, Tito Ortiz's, the people that are behind the scenes, the Matt Humes, the Greg Jacksons, the Greg Nilsons, he was behind Sean Shirk all of those years.
Okay, yes.
You look at Javier Mendez, who's behind the Cormiers.
Yeah, AKA. He's been there forever. He was behind Koscheck and all them when they were there.
Think about it.
Crazy Bob Cook has been around forever.
And then you think about people that, rest in peace, Sean Tompkins, but started the careers of Mark Hominick, Sam Stout. These are the people that the casual fans would be like, yeah.
You're seeing more Greg Jackson get more limelight, but you don't see as many casual fans knowing who Matt Hume is.
Yeah, or the crazy thing is, I was at a kickboxing fight not too long ago, and Rafael Cordero walks in, right? And the casual fans, of course, the drunk guy up front, the girl with the big rack that don't even know why she's there in the first place. She sees him and she's like, oh, why does this guy get to be behind stage? And I wanted to be like, bitch, do you know who that is? Yes, do this.
Or pray or something.
I mean, think about it. I mean, Matt Hume's been around. He was actually, crazy good fighter. Eric Polson, CSW.
Yes,
he was around a long time. Still around.
Still coaching Barnett.
Still coaching. This guy, Rafael Cordero, he was one of the co-founders of Shootboxing. We all know
the original one.
The original. So when he was still fighting, Anderson Silva was just coming up. Shogun's
Silva.
brother, Vanderlei Silva, all of these guys, man.
The Nogueras, were they out of Shootbox?
I don't know. I don't know the exact names. I just know the names that I said. But
okay. I think the Nogueras were connected with him somehow.
You get what I mean? But this guy had an influence basically upon the Brazilian culture and the Brazilian fighters that are coming up right now. Andre Pederneiras, been around forever.
Yes.
These guys speak a language. Not only is it their native tongue, but they speak a language in skill or in the fighting world that goes a long way. And as much as the UFC has branded themselves to be a household name, it's people behind the scenes like those that push it even further. Because the UFC can be everywhere that they want to be. right?
Right.
But it's the people that are behind the scenes. It's the coaches that's getting these guys exposure. It's the coaches that are putting these badass fighters in the cage that's bringing the UFC that recognition. When people are looking at, like, you look at a Greg Jackson's and you look at all the champions or all of the people that came out of there, the John Joneses, the Carlos Condits, you know, the Andrei Arlovskis, the, you know, guys that are just sharing a wealth of knowledge and sharing a love for the sport. You know, it, like I said, it comes full circle. It just makes everything run smooth.
And I'll tell you what, behind every one champion, there's at least 7 guys that are helped make that champion, who were at least that one doing a striking, one doing boxing, one doing kickboxing, one doing wrestling, one doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, maybe another type of wrestling, maybe a judo coach, nutritionist, strength and conditioning coach. You know, maybe they have 2 strength and conditioning coaches.
Yeah. Nobody in this world, whether you're in stocks and bonds, whether you're in fighting, whether whatever, you never get anywhere by yourself. So for a lot of people to say I'm self-made, you know, I mean, Warren Buffett's actually a self-made guy, but he got to where he was from the mentoring of Ben Graham. You know, it was an investor that was there before him, a professor, or, you know, basically a voice that spoke to him. You know, and I believe that coaches in mixed martial arts, I believe that, you know, brokers or, you know, accountant managers or whatever, everyone is successful off of the work of someone else.
Yes.
And I believe that one hand washes the other. You know?
Right.
Just in life.
I agree with you on that. I agree. And you're right. It applies to everything. A lot of everything applies to everything.
Yeah.
So everything applies to everything.
I guess if that's the new saying on the street, I need to get hip. Everything. What is it?
Everything applies to everything.
Everything applies to everything. If I say that, people would think I'm crazy. You know.
Everything applies to everything.
But everything applies to everything.
Which applies to everyone.
You know what I mean?
All the time.
All the time.
All the time.
All the time.
So everything, I forgot what it was now.
Everything applies to everything. You just said
for
it.
everyone.
For every. Oh, you're doing a whole spew.
For everyone, all the time.
For everyone, all the time. Yeah, we're going with that one. Yeah.
That is not broad at all.
No, that's not broad. Just
you'd have to use that when someone asks you a question. You're coaching today. I'm
coaching today. I got to coach in probably like an hour or so. So I'm gonna go in there. I'm like, hey guys, do you know what time it is? And they're like, what? I'm like, hey, what is it? Everything
applies to everything.
Everything applies to everything.
And then the rest.
And then that's it. No, I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm just gonna be like, everything applies to everything.
Yeah, because
just do your thing.
Have fun.
Yeah, have fun.
Punch with your gloves.
Yeah, punch with your gloves. Hopefully your hands are inside.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Everything applies to everything.
So, favorite food. We got to get this down because me and you both love eating and shoving fat stuff into our face.
Didn't we just eat at tacos?
We just had some tacos.
We actually went to a taco place and got burritos.
Yeah.
So we suck as Americans. And as fake Mexicans, we suck.
Yeah, we went to the tacos. That's what it is in the U.S., American. And we had burritos.
But I mean, like, you know.
A burrito is
just on steroids.
Cousin.
Yeah, you know, it's the father taco.
So what is your favorite food, though?
You know, it's all cliche when people like mom spaghetti.
Mom spaghetti. You know,
but,
that's you're from Detroit. That's usually on your sweater.
That's not my favorite food. My favorite food, in all honesty, has to be like a nice cut of ham.
Nice cut of ham.
No BS, right?
Ham.
Ham. Yeah, exactly. I like eggs Benedict. You know, I like Thanksgiving. I like ham at Thanksgiving. I don't like the turkey. At Christmas, I like the ham. I'm a big guy. I like the ham. You know, pigs are hilarious to me. I like the ham. If you offer me a filet, it's like, yeah, I got this badass filet, this 32-ounce porterhouse, and it got all this stuff, and the filet's all nice and tender, this, that, and the other. I'd be like, look, save the money on that filet and just get me the whole goddamn ham, and we all can eat. We can all eat for the price of that one steak. you know. And plus, like, I don't know, just you can never have really a bad ham unless people like put tons of salt on it and try to preserve it so much. But think about it, ham is always consistent the same, whether you buy the lunch meat ham, the honey baked ham, which is delicious.
Got to go with the honey in it.
Got to go with the honey in it because they put the brown sugar on the outside.
Yeah, the brown sugar, maybe the pineapples. I get that. Yeah. But would you rather have a ham or a good pulled pork?
Ham. The pulled pork, sometimes it gets away. People put too much seasoning or they put too much barbecue sauce.
Like, they don't use the right barbecue sauce.
They don't use the right barbecue sauce. So you see, that's what I'm saying. The consistency in the pulled pork may not be as consistent as the ham. I'm
just saying you got a good ham and a good pulled pork.
Which one?
Yeah.
Ham, dude.
The ham.
I still got to go with the ham.
See, I like the pulled pork with a barbecue, but it's got to be good barbecue sauce and not overdone.
Yeah. So, okay, so you like the pulled pork. So pulled pork or pulled chicken? Silence, ladies and gentlemen. Silence.
They're both pretty much the same to me.
How the hell are they both the same? It's two different animals.
If you're putting a barbecue sauce on it.
You know what? Barbecue sauce drowns out everything.
Yeah.
You can have some of the worst seasoning. Because I remember a lady friend made some dinner for me. And let's just say it wasn't all that, right? But I was like, hey, baby, pass that sauce. And she's like, oh, you really like it? I drenched that shit in that sauce. Didn't taste a thing.
Just the delicious part.
Yeah, just delicious. Oh, my God, so awesome.
Barbecue sauce of choice if you go into the grocery
Eat
store?
that Stubbs.
Stubbs?
I like Stubbs. I don't know why a lot of people are like, oh, dude, it's expensive, plus it's not that good. It's like, yeah, if you buy the original, it's not that good. But, of course, if you're going to throw sauce on anything, YOLO, you know? just go with the hickory smoke or the sweet spice or something. I like
hickory, but I go Sweet Baby Ray's.
Sweet Baby Ray's?
Sweet Baby Ray's.
All right, I can dig that.
That's my black barbecue sauce guy.
It's like it's an Asian guy somewhere. It's like, yeah, Sweet Baby Ray's. What are you talking about?
Because Stubbs has the picture of the black old guy.
Yeah, he's like chilling like with this angle right here, and he has like on a cowboy hat. And he's just like, yeah, that's my glamour shot right there. You know? So yeah, I like Stubbs a lot.
I like pizza, man. I think that's my favorite.
Pizza?
Yeah, but you gotta have a good pie.
See, that's another thing. You know, shout out to
pizza. Shout out to pizza.
Shout out to pizza. You know, shout out to Little Caesars because Detroit made Mike Ilitch does a lot for the city. The owner of Little Caesars.
No kidding.
You know, yeah, he actually he got drafted to play baseball, and like he didn't quite make it in his career, but him and his wife started Little Caesars, I think, in like 1959. And that $5 hot and ready, you know, pizza, you know, bought him the Red Wings, bought him the Tigers. He's the owner of those two teams. Plus, I mean, he dumps a lot of money into the city of Detroit. So shout out to the Ilitch family. They're very good for the city of Detroit, and they're a family that shows that, you know, as bad as the city may look or anything like that, never turn your back because you don't know where it's gonna go, you know. But I mean, they do own Motor City Casino, so I don't know how much money they're actually getting back to. So,
yeah, how much money? They're giving it back, but then they get it back.
They get it back. But no, about pizza, Little Caesars is good, but sometimes I won't say it's the Ilitch family because I'm sure they got their own recipes. But I've been in a few Little Caesars and a few other little joints. And I don't know, the consistency's not there.
You know, and that's supposed to be their thing, consistency.
That's supposed to be their thing, yeah, they're consistent at just microwaving that shit.
If you go to Pizza Hut, you can get consistently shit pizza.
Yeah,
all the time.
Yeah.
But I still enjoy the fuck out of it.
Yeah, you do.
You know why?
I can't do Pizza Hut. I can't do it. It's like every time I bite into it, it's just like it feels just too greasy, man.
There's something off with it. But it's still pizza, so it still kind of makes the cut. As long as you're not putting ketchup as marinara sauce.
Nah.
I could deal with it. You know what place was the worst I've ever had?
What place?
CC's.
But I mean, anybody that charges $4 for a buffet and all you can eat pizza, that pizza ain't that damn delicious. It don't cost nothing to put the ingredients.
And they've been advertising so much.
Yeah, it's a subliminal message. You're like, all right, I gotta go eat at CC's.
CC's, you make that mistake once.
Yeah, after you make that mistake, it's
same mistake you make as the one at the Golden Corral. I made a Golden Corral mistake.
You know what?
Have you ever made that mistake in your life?
I've only eaten at Golden Corral once, and I was like a little kid, so everything tastes delicious. And I only had like a half a plate so I can get the dessert. So yes. I can't really speak on the Golden Corral. You had it like recently?
Yeah.
Ew.
For the first time ever.
Ew.
First when I was walking in there, I noticed there was a nice pile of puke next to it. I'm like,
so why the hell didn't you just walk out?
I was like, the food must be so good because they're eating so much they're puking.
No, they puked because the food tastes like shit.
It wasn't like a ton of puke. It looked like somebody just spit up a little bit.
That's disgusting.
So I was like, all right. So I'm anticipating this. I'm like, it's so good you can't stop eating like a dog.
Right.
And then my stomach was messed up for a whole week. So maybe it was the food.
It was.
I asked for it because their gimmick is a steak. I'm like, I'll have mine medium rare. Half of it was medium, half was rare. He's like, yeah, here you go.
Oh, half and half. They didn't turn it over?
They did. He turned it over once on the rare side. He's like, all right, get it up, medium and rare.
No, man, they played you.
They played me.
They shouldn't have done that, man.
I thought it was going to be good. I don't know. It's the disappointment corral.
It's the disappointment corral. It's not golden. We're going to demote you to bronze.
Yeah.
Bronze corral.
You know what place has the best buffets?
Which place?
Casinos.
You know what? Yeah. They have great buffets. I know that we have out here is Valley Center. Oh, my goodness.
Paula's got a good one, too.
Paula has a good one. Pachanga has a good one.
Pachanga's the weakest of the
I don't know, man. I don't know. I've never been disappointed.
Okay.
I went there after a fight one time, and we were trying to make Valley Center, but they closed a little bit early. But Pachanga stayed open till like at least 11. So we went in there. I was about, I don't know, like 25, 30 deep with people. And we went in.
I remember that.
Yeah, we went in. They walked us right to the tables. I mean, it was a little bit, out on the pricey side.
Buffet day.
But that was a good buffet then.
I went for their lunch, though. Not impressive.
Their lunch? You know what? I've never been to a buffet for lunch or anything like that. Like, I've always, when I thought about buffets.
It's like a Chinese restaurant lunch buffet.
Oh, man, I've been there before. Oh, yeah.
Down the road?
It's a place right down the road. Right down the road. That place is legit, man. My goodness.
There's that the other one that just moved in town.
Which one?
It's about a year and a half old. I think we went with Fernando. It's like newer.
We're just exposing like all of our like food habits and, how we spend half of our day. So don't mind this part.
Yeah. Down the road off of Cal Oaks.
I know where you're talking about. Trust you me.
It's good. The best is probably Brazilian barbecue.
Oh, man.
Dude, just fucking meat. And you just to shove it in your face.
You have that one little thing there that, like, you put the red up. Like, hey, bro, don't serve me right now. And then that green to keep it coming.
Like a pit stop.
Yeah, bro. It's like, hey, let me know what I'm doing here, okay? Do you want me to, do you want the steak or do you know?
And it's good meat. That's the best way to go, I think.
It's a place down in Gaslamp in San Diego, downtown San Diego. I forget the name of it. It's off of 4th Street. Ridiculous. It's like $54, and everybody's like tripping on the price. Like, oh yeah, but this, that, and the other is too expensive. I'm like, dude, you can sit here all day long, eat, let it digest. Go handle your business in the bathroom and come back.
They're upscale places.
I mean, you could take dates there. You could take a business meeting there.
You could date yourself.
You could date yourself there. I've been there plenty of times by myself, and I enjoyed myself.
And it's a good thing. After you spend $54 on yourself, you're going to put out.
I don't know. Sometimes it's a struggle.
Sometimes
it's a struggle from practice. I mean, you hit your hand too much, You
just got the itis, and you're like, I don't feel like it.
Yeah. You know what? But that's one thing I can say. after buffets, after like the Brazilian barbecue, if you have a hotel or a bed somewhere near that, you need to go there.
You are not gonna. If you take a date to the Brazilian barbecue,
oh, you're not.
And she gets done, you are not getting any action.
No, think about it, right? It's like after your stomach's full, after all of that stuff, these chicks ain't trying to.
No, they're gonna.
You know, so it's like
gross.
they feel gross, they feel bloated.
Yeah.
You know, plus you just trying to pound away.
They just had meat. They just filled their system with meat. They don't need more meat.
they don't need more meat. You know, so that's why like if you're going on a date or something like that, you can't go to like no Brazilian barbecue joint. You got to start off with something light. Like you gotta make sure that, you know, she's able later on to move. You know, make it fun. Keep it satisfying, but you know, make sure it's a good meal. Don't be no cheap, you know, ass. Don't take her to McDonald's and just be like, yo, it's light, bro. No, that's not light. You know, take her somewhere nice. Take her somewhere nice, but just make sure that, you know, if you guys are gonna do appetizers and stuff like that, you stick with that salad. You don't put the greasy foods on top of other things, because then when you get her out of there and she start acting all funny, you like, well, why is she acting like that?
I just did 2 for $20. Why the fuck is she acting so funny?
You know? I just did 2 for $20. Bro, she had cheese on her fries. What the hell? Oh, yeah, it's feeling a little heavy right now.
Those 2 for $20 deals are pretty cool, though. I like them.
Where is that at?
Like at Fridays or out.
Oh, yeah. 2 for 20.
Like, yeah, you do get it.
2 for 20. I usually do it by myself.
But that's usually when you already had the girl already and like you've been dating for a while. Then
you've been dating for a while, then it's like, yo, no, you can't have the cheese on that. No, it's too expensive.
We're going to go 2 for $20.
Yeah, we're going 2 for $20 tonight. But I want mountain, you know.
We'll have fun. You say we don't go out enough.
Yeah, we're here. Welcome to the party, you know.
What would you say is your best place to take a first date?
Ooh.
Yeah, right.
I haven't been on a first date in a long time.
Well, are you sure about that? Just hanging out.
I'm sure about that. Haven't had a first date in a long time. But if it was me and I had to take a chick somewhere, it all depends on her though. You know, because you have some, like if she's like into guys that drive BMWs and dress nice and always sophisticated and, you know, do you have an education and this, that, and other, we ain't going nowhere. You know, I won't even talk to those type of chicks. But if cool, down to earth, different things like that, you know, if I'm taking them out on a first date, guarantee you society standards, you ain't popping off, you know. I
don't know, these kids nowadays,
they're hot in the pants.
This shitty rap music these days is
yeah. It's making people just go crazy, you know. Sometimes, I mean, I know a couple dudes, you know, I ain't saying no names. I know a couple dudes that, you know what I'm saying, before they even got to the first dinner was already like, you know, doing their thing, having fun. But for me, it feels like first date status, I say somewhere that's practical, somewhere like a macaroni grill, something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's practical. I mean, it's fun for everybody. I mean, everybody loves pasta and stuff like that, and it's cool, quiet, whatever. But if you talk about like Brazilian barbecue, that's like a day that like we're not doing anything else. She's on her period or something, you know? Because I already know I ain't getting none anyway. So it's like, all right, we can do it. You know, but
then you might as well take yourself.
I might as well take myself because
save yourself to $60.
You get what I mean? Because she probably is gonna be all sensitive and
just a whole lot of attitude.
Whole lot of attitude, man. So I'm taking myself.
Eat these chicken hearts in peace.
You get what I mean? But no, like first date, macaroni grill. You can go places like, you can cook.
You could cook.
You can cook. I mean, that would be first choice. Like,
but the problem with cooking, although I like doing it, is it's only special the first time you do it. So you
not really, unless you putting it down. Like if you in there and you like Junior Mari Batelli, oh shit, oh man, she's gonna be there every day. Y'all can break up, she'll still be like, hey, what time is dinner? You know?
Hey, what time is dinner?
Like, we're gonna
trade services.
We're gonna trade services. I mean, hey, It's no emotion behind it. Yeah, sure, it's not. Okay.
Yeah, I'm in love with the food.
I'm in love with the food. Yeah, definitely. But if you like, yeah, I mean, if you only have like certain dishes, yeah, you got to break it out on special occasions. Like I know, like one of my brothers, right? He can only cook chicken, right? And he's great at that.
He's great.
But that's it. So it's like you can't take her out on the first date, then be like, oh babe, well, I'm gonna cook for you again. Then it's the same dish. It's like, no, you gotta spread that out a little bit. But if you putting it down in the kitchen, if you know your way around the grill, you know how to like work the grill, work the stove, work the oven. You know how to broil things. You know how to bake a cake. You can move around a little bit. I ain't calling you, Chef Boyardee or nothing. But if you know what you're doing, you can stretch.
Yeah, you can stretch
it out. You can stretch it out. Yeah.
If you're not, and you're just like an average, hey, I'm a guy. I swing a hammer.
Yeah, you want to go to In-N-Out? You want to go to In-N-Out? You can get an animal style.
Make a spaghetti today. And
Yeah,
that's like a special thing, because you're expected to just swing a hammer and burn. And like, wow, he's putting pasta in water and boiling it.
Yeah, I mean, like, and that's another thing. That's the only thing why I would say I would not take a first date or a period, like to go to like a macaroni grill or something like that. The drawback to that and the drawback to like Olive Garden is like, really, I'm gonna pay $24 for some noodles and some sauce.
I'll go to the local spots. Like
you get what I mean?
I like to go to I got an Italian place with a family like owns. They're from Boston. And they're closest I could get to East Coast pizza out here. So I go and their owners are always there. They say what's up to the table. How you doing? Beautiful day, and they chit chat with you. And then
see, that's what I'm used to. Being from Detroit, it's a lot of chains there. Don't get me wrong, but it's a lot of mom and pop places. So it's like you're used to when I walk into this place. I know the owner. I know the waitresses that are working. I probably dated that chick in high school, and we're still talking and we're still friends. But being out here and it's a lot of chains. It's a lot of Tons of chains. It's not personable no more. Like I can't walk into a place and they know what I'm ordering when I sit down.
Unless you're doing like Asian or something. Like, cause that seems to be the only family stuff around here is like Asian or very few Italian places. But that's because Temecula is only 20, 30 years old. So they're like the new generation of just everything's a chain and everything's a certain standard.
Yeah, every building, every home around here is only at the most 30 years old.
Yeah, it's a 30-year-old town. I think Barry built half the town.
Yeah. Shout out to Barry.
Shout out to Barry.
Barry Robertson, older gentleman at our gym. He hangs with the young kids. This guy's in his 70s, but he
looks like Cotton Hill.
Yeah. His skin's like leather, man. He's tough as nails, but
still getting kicked by horses. Still getting
kicked by horses. Still sparring with the young guys. Some of the pro guys too.
Yeah,
still getting down, and he goes to everybody's fight with his 50-gallon hat on. You ever seen him with that?
Yeah.
Oh man, 50-gallon hat on, cowboy boots. I think he wears Wranglers. I don't know.
And he's got his girls like 20 years younger than him.
You get what I mean? Barry's they don't make them like that no more.
He's still roping. Barry's in there challenging all the kids to fight.
Yeah, Barry's the man.
He spars hard.
He spars hard. I remember a few times he got punched pretty hard. He just looked over at me like, the guy hits like a pussy. And I'm like, oh, okay, hey, here we go. Yeah, old man Barry, he's the man. He's the man.
That's one of Dan's father's friends and Dan's friend too, right?
Yeah. So see, that's the beautiful thing about the sport and about just small towns in general, like what we were talking about, like just, Temecula not being that old, is that everyone knows everyone. So it's like, Barry's good friends with Dan's father. Of course, Dan's good friends with us. So the friendship goes in full circle again, just like everything we were talking about, full circle.
Shit, I'm probably closer with Barry than Dan.
You get what I mean? You get what I mean? But it's a good time.
Dan will give you this look like, that's the look.
Like, I'm not really interested in what you're saying, but I'm gonna make you feel important just a little bit.
When did he do that to you? There was a funny one that he did that to you. You were asking us something.
It's been a few times. Like, I love Dan to death. Dan has done a lot for me. But it's been a few times, like, I come to him and I'm like, hey, Dan, I got this, situation, or I got this move that I'm trying to do and it's just not working out, or this, that, and the other. And he goes, yeah. Well, good luck with that. And it's like, okay, well, hey, nice talk.
Good talk.
Thanks, bro. Like, I really feel the love on that one.
Like when they had not the last amateur team, but the amateur team before it, I guess Dan was walking into his office and they grabbed him, wrangled him up, and they're like, come Dan, come talk to the people who are trying out for the amateur team. He's like, well, guys are trying out for the amateur team. That's cute.
Oh,
good luck.
Oh, man. Say the C word?
He didn't say that's cute, but he might as well have.
Yeah, might as well have. That just diminishes your integrity right there. It's just like,
just went nuts because Dan just yeah, Dan's here. It's like all the people went nuts. Like the second.
I mean, Dan's a hero, man. Dan's been getting love in the sport before he was even known in the U.S. Like he's a U.S. Olympian, right? An Olympian, 2-time. But in the fighting world, he was always over in Pride. He was always fighting, over there. And I'm sure he has well over 10 fights over there. He spent the majority of the beginning of his career over there,
Brazil, then to there.
Yes. So when he came over to the U.S., a lot of people knew, the other fighters and the other names and stuff like that. But Dan still gets love, and he's one of the most humble guys, one of the most nonchalant guys, super nice in the world. Oh yeah. But he gets love no matter where he goes, man. That's awesome. That's awesome.
And his demeanor's just always the same.
Mm-hmm. Demeanor's always the same. Walks in and he's just like, hey. Goes about his business, but he's a workhorse, man. He gets in the gym, he puts it down. I mean, still, even at his age right now, he goes in there and he outworks us by times 10, So
that's funny. I saw him. He kicked Sam square in the balls hard. Oof. And then somebody's like, hey, what happened over here? Sam's on the ground and he's like, I kicked Sam in the pussy. That's it.
Hey. That's it. That's Dan's personality. That's it. He's just going to say it. And if you laugh, you laugh. If you don't, let's keep it trucking. Let's just go on to something else.
I kicked him in the pussy.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's it.
And I'll tell you what, he was my hero before I even came out to Team Quest. I picked a couple other gyms before it, and then I was tried out Team Quest, because I forgot about it. So, nope, this is the place I'm staying.
You know what? For me, it was the same thing. I came out here with a couple of buddies, and I had to get out of Michigan, not in the sense where it was, I had to get out of there and my life was so bad. No, my life is actually pretty well in Michigan. My family's there. I have a ton of friends, have a ton of people that know who I am, have a ton of people that respect what I do, and I'm from Detroit. So it's when I'm there, it's people know who I am. Yeah. So when I came out here, it wasn't in a sense where it's all right, well, let me try just a new place and totally just wash my hands with where I'm from. It was more in a sense where it's okay, well, I want to go where, guys are getting better at. I want to go where, competition's a little stiff every day. So that way, if I'm training hard, the fight's easy. Yeah. And that was my mindset. And when I came here, I was like, man, this town's small. This town's this town's that. But then seeing the work that Dan puts in, seeing the work that the other fighters put in, and seeing how, just being around a guy like that and being around a professional team transcends into you, and you start to surround yourself with guys like yourself, how we meshed, and me and Sam and I and Fernando and I. Funny story, me and Fernando almost fought. Right? No kidding. So we were at the WEC, not professionally,
You guys just almost fought each other?
Yeah, we almost fought. We were at the WEC when they were still at the joint, the Hard Rock.
That was before Zuffa bought them out, right?
That was before Zuffa bought them out. They were just in their own little entity.
They were still big.
They were still big. So I went out there from Detroit because I said, you know what? I'm going to go to Vegas and I'm going to go see if there's some teams out there. I'm going to go see, what's the life like on the West Coast for a fighter. Let me get out of Michigan. So when I went, I'm sitting there and a buddy of mine was fighting and a buddy of Fernando's was fighting. So Fernando ended up sitting right next to me on top of the stage at the joint. So I'm sitting there and I'm cheering for my buddy and he's cheering for his buddy. And I'm like, yeah, okay, hey, calm down, guy, calm down. And Fernando, we're both Latin men. He's Mexican. I'm half Puerto Rican. So it's like that blood gets a little, it rises pretty easy, right?
Especially how many years ago was this?
This was, man, it had to be like 2000, 2007.
All right, so like almost 8-9 years ago.
Almost like 9 years ago.
Because it had to be some time.
Yeah. So he's sitting there and I'm like, man, this guy's really an asshole, So he's looking at me like, man. So after the fight, my buddy won the decision, and then right after the fight, me and Fernando looking at each other. I'm like, yeah, all right. So he goes about his business. I go about mine. So fast forward, my first day at Team Quest. I walk in and I look on the ring and he's up there wrapping his hands. And I was like, this dude. This guy. Like, oh, man, it's on. And then it was sparring day, big gloves. Me and Fernando got a hold of each other and didn't let each other go the whole day. We were just going at it. It was just, we got it all out. And since then, we've been super like brothers.
That's so funny. I had no idea.
Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy, man.
So you guys, I would never have guessed that.
Yeah.
You know what? I never would have guessed that you played baseball.
Yeah, I played baseball. Well, growing up, my dad, he was hard on us. Like, me and my brothers, we had, like, a tee in our garage. Like, this is dead wintertime. We can put up the garage, and you'll see, like, snow falling. And my dad's like, hit the ball. Here's a bucket of ball. I want 10 buckets done by each of you guys. So 10 buckets, so like 1,000 cuts. And we're just in there, pow, 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 just going at it. Same thing, ground balls. We miss a ground ball. Oh, man, we was getting tore up from my dad. So it transitioned over into, my brothers all went on, played college, professional. I went on to play at some high levels. And, I had a little success, but my heart was never into it.
Your brother's having some success in baseball.
Yeah, my brother Joshua, he's actually was signed to the Arizona. He lives in Arizona. He was signed to the Anaheim Angels, and he played in their rookie league and their double A league. He hurt his shoulder, rotator cuff, or something like that. And I don't know if they released him. I don't know what's going on, but I guess he actually was in talks with the New York Mets and
America's team,
and doing things like that. So hopefully he can get on the squad and sign a deal and try to make some money.
Would that be down in Florida or would it be for the?
I don't know where he would do like his spring training or anything. I know out there in Arizona you have the Angels. I think you have the Mariners and the Padres. Maybe. I'm not sure of all of the affiliated
and we're talking
teams.
The league right under the major league.
Well, it's rookie league. Then you have single A, double A, triple A. Then the big show. So
he's playing triple A?
Well, the last he left off was double A.
Okay.
So he's having some success, but for pitchers, that's a dime a dozen. If you can have a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, if you have a high ERA or your strikeout ratio isn't what it's going to be to balls, you're not going to do anything. So
your brother has a chance of going triple or maybe
he has a good chance of going triple A. He has a good chance of going to the big show. He just has to stay in it. A lot of times that when things happen to just people in general, and my brother being the topic, we can't get discouraged by just random things that happen, because in life shit's gonna get thrown your way, so you just have to roll with the punches.
Just makes the story a little bit
better.
It's true. I've been a victim of that with my 2 surgeries, and just got to keep on going. And I was lucky enough to end up on the show, and So far, it didn't play out how I wanted it to, but I might be ending up back. You never know where this ends. But, just got to stick with it. And I'm hoping I could get 6 more years out of fighting. I probably want to stop about 35, I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean, for myself, I'm 30 now. I'll probably stop about, like 35, 36, but only because I don't have as much miles on me as, a lot of other fighters do. Like, I've had my surgeries, but I've taken a few steps back only for teaching and, doing things like that. So I've been around the sport. I've been in the background the whole time. I've been helping guys get ready for fights. I've been a part of training camps and everything.
You've been Showtime with me when I was in Showtime.
But the thing is, I've never, stayed consistent in the ring. But I've always done everything that everyone else has done.
You've been a hell of a Greg Jackson.
I've been a hell of a Greg Jackson. But being 30 years old and having the talent and the determination that I have, it's like, it's time.
Well, now you have a fight coming up. You're ready to get your feet wet again.
I have a fight coming up January 15th at Bama. I believe they're having it at the OC Fairgrounds or at Commerce Casino. I don't know the 2 venues.
I believe this one's at the Commerce Casino.
Okay. If it's at the Commerce Casino or Orange County, it doesn't matter. I'll be ready.
Yeah.
I'm 2.5 months out right now. So, yeah,
you've been getting it hard. Your weight's been coming down.
Weight's been coming down. It may not look like it if this is your first time viewing, but I've actually come down in weight a lot, and just keep it going and just go from there.
Yeah, and Isaiah's been in this fight game for a long time. In fact, he's one of the most exciting fighters I've seen. Let's talk about your last fight.
Oh, man, let's not talk about that last fight.
Oh,
man.
Isaiah, first of all, I always thought Isaiah was a Lorenz Larkin lookalike.
You know what? I'll just say, I think that a lot of people make that comparison because we're both strikers and we're both black. So it's like...
And you both have the same face.
And we both have sort of the same face. And we smile a lot.
Yeah, I've confused you two before.
Yeah. I had to tell people, I said, hey, I'm black and Puerto Rican. I don't know what he's mixed with. But no, Lorenz is cool. Like I see him a lot out. And I'll see him like in random places through California, or I'll see him at fights, and it's always a good time. That's a good dude. I like Lorenz a lot.
It's funny, he came in the locker room and then he said something to somebody and walked out. I'm like, why didn't Isaiah even acknowledge me?
Oh, no.
Yeah. Like, no, we've known each other. Something's different about you, but we've known each other.
Something's different about Isaiah today. Oh, my name's Lorenz. Like, that's what you're going off of now, huh?
But your last fight, you looked phenomenal. I was like, well, now it's going to be Lorenz's and Isaiah lookalike because he's looking phenomenal. Until... one moment, he was killing him standing, beating the crap out of him, up, down, lifts him up on his shoulder. Bam.
Did the Gray Maynard, bro.
He Gray Maynard himself.
I Gray Maynard myself. I mean, the guy is 6'6", fighting is a catch weight 190 pounds, so it's like, a guy 6'6", 190. I'm only 5'11", so I was in the zone, man. Like when I get in there, when I get in the ring or the cage, I'm a different breed, man.
That was my first time seeing you live, and I was like shit my pants, so excited with how really talented of a fighter you are. Standing in on the ground and your wrestling looks solid. I mean,
dude, I try to get after it. In the room, I'm one of those guys that like in the room you would never ever guess. Like I maybe a flash may come out like of some slick things that I have, but in the room, I'm there to learn. I'm there to, try to hone my skill, put myself in bad positions, try to fight my way out, see what I see what works for me, see what doesn't. When the fight comes, that's when I'm gonna go out there and put all my strengths on display. But I was I was beating the guy all the way around the ring, couple light little trip slams, good control. I shot for the double leg. As soon as we flared out, black was the last thing I saw. Boom! I come to, I'm in the locker room, and our coach, my brother Corey Grant, goes, yeah, man, that was tough. And I said, well, what did he hit me with? And he goes, he didn't hit you. And I was like, well, how the hell did it happen then? So, the next day my neck was all sore and stuff. And I was like, oh. So then when I started watching the film and I started actually to remember, I actually landed like when I went to dump him, he wrapped his hand around like for a guillotine or something like that.
Just desperation.
So he pulled my head down, and my face was the first thing to land.
Uh-huh.
Then I roll over. So not so much a Gray Maynard. I think I did it worse, but the face landing first. Just I don't remember anything else.
And the only one that can stop Isaiah is
Is the mat.
So Isaiah, before we sign off on this podcast, which has been awesome having you, we're definitely gonna have you back. Where can we find you? Let's give you a little bit of some love.
I don't know. I'm not a big social media guy. So on social media, I mean, I guess if you look up, Isaias Alvarado. If you go on, I don't have no Twitter, but Instagram is is Gold is Mine 85.
Gold is Mine 85.
Yeah.
Isaiah makes
and then if you really wanna catch me or find me, Dan Henderson's Athletic Fitness Center.
Come by Dan Henderson Athletic Fitness Center. Come by Bug Isaiah unless he's training.
Unless I'm training, because then I'm a super nice guy, but when I'm training, I'm not that nice.
Training, yeah, we're all guilty of that. So, but come to Dan Henderson Athletic Fitness Center and take one of Isaiah's striking classes, and don't confuse him for Lorenz Larkin.
Don't confuse me. He's a cool dude, but we're two different guys. I promise. If you get us in the room, we may not stand out, but yeah, we're two different guys. I promise.
All right, it's been wonderful having you, Isaiah. And this is it on our 6th-ish edition of the Tom Gallicchio Tomcast. Thank you, Isaiah.
No problem. Thank you, Tom.